So this is kind of like a smart plant sensor meets Tamagotchi. It tracks your plant's moisture, light, and temperature, but also turns plant care into a game. So today we're going to be speaking with Luke to tell us all about Senso. For those that don't know you, Luke, who are you? What do you do in the company? What's your role with Senso? And what's your background on the team?
All right. So what's up, everyone? My name is Luke. I'm the founder of Soildtech. We're basically a startup team, and we focused on plant technology. And this is the product we're working on right now. It's going viral in the States and in Europe. Basically, a gamified the world's first gamified plant sensor, right? So basically, you just insert it into the soil, and it will monitor all the data for your plants. And then there's a fun game inside that we develop. It's basically like a plant Tamagotchi. And then you can just play with it. And then once you complete the missions, we send up through the game, and you will be taking care of your plants.
Nice, I got it. Well, that leads me to my question. Where did this idea come from? Like, what was the moment I love it. I saw you at CES this last year, but I am just curious, like, did you notice that there was a problem with people like myself killing plants? And you were like, oh, I got an idea. Where did it come from?
So first, to be honest, right, this is like a complete random idea, but it all started out with my experience during my school time in the States, right? So I went to high school, and then I got home stayed at my cousin's house, and then we were doing planting in the backyard, right, for a couple of years. So I was starting my startup, and we was doing the vegetable planters at first. But out of the sudden, we noticed that all of the people that we interview, they're all doing planting at home, but they're all killing their plants just like ourselves. So we decided to, focus on the problem. And then, but after we did a lot of research, we found out that all the solutions in the market are pretty boring. I think people who are killing plants are all like beginners, right? So they don't really need the complicated solutions. But I think what they need is like a fun solution, because they try to do planting easier and have more fun, right? It's like a more like a habit thing rather than like a job. So we decided to integrate a game inside the sensor, and then it also worked as a companion product, to be honest. And then all we want to do is to have fun while planting. So that's our goal for the product.
All right, so tell me exactly, what does it do? What exactly does it do that, like, a different, like, for instance, I know that they've got these moisture monitors and stuff, but you're right, they're very boring, and I've never bought one. When I saw you at CES, I'm like, oh, I got to get one of these. This just looks cool, and I love the gamified version of it. But what exactly does the sensor do from like a keeping my plants alive standpoint?
So the easy explanation would be, so it's basically Tamagotchi gaming device plus the probes, right, which is responsible for collecting the moisture level of your plants. And then it's also like a three-in-one sensor. So there's light monitor sensor inside, and then the temperature, and then plus the moisture and the health level of the soil, right? So all it does is that it's going to show different like screens or the sorry, let me turn on the device. It's working. Yeah, so there's like an entire game inside the device, right? So first you have to like set up. So I'm just gonna skip the process, and then there, you can see there's like a little creature inside the device, right? And it is responsible for plants. So once you put it into the soil, right, it will be collecting all the data, and then once the data is off, it will be showing like different status inside the game, right? For example, now it's lacking water because we're not putting anything,
Sneakers that feel personal without breaking the bank. With Rebrand Soul, you get affordable, artist-designed shoes that support local creators. Here's how it works. Step 1. Pick your soul. Step 2. Pick your size. Step 3. Find your artist. That's it. Each pair brings original artwork to something you wear every day. Because art doesn't have to stay on a wall. Art for your feet can make your day. Shop Rebrand Soul and support local artists with every step. Get yours at rebrandsoul.com.
One of the questions I had was like, how does the AI data then translate to saving somebody like myself that could probably kill a rubber plant? Like, does it tell me, hey, time to water me, or when it, all that good stuff, or too much light, or too little light? It does all that?
Yeah, of course. So,
Okay.
I mean, before we get starting, right, the first thing you need to do is you have to know what type of plan it is, right? So we
Sure.
have this feature in our app, right? So once you scan the plan, our system will know what type of plan it is, right? For example, it's a rubber tree, and then we will have all the data inside our database, and then we are sending the data into the hardware, and then hardware will know that okay, I'm caring for a rubber tree, and then it's all starting from there, right? And then after that, we are also doing diagonals for the plan, and then we are monitoring the four type of data, right? And then you have this like visualization screen on your app, so you can monitor the real status for your plans all the time, right? And then back to our device, so right, so you can actually give me a second. So you can actually receiving all the like the daily or weekly quest to take care of your plans. And after you select the quest, right, and then you need to like finish a little game inside. But a game is related to like the real planting, right? So for example, if this is like a watering mission, so after you finish the mission, you will receive like rewards in the game. So it's going to be like a really uh, forwarding loop for you to take care of your plants because we really want everybody to become like plant lovers, right? Yeah, as especially for ourselves because I kill plants all the time, and then we bought this really expensive plants in our office, and they just die all the time because like the air conditioning and stuff. So it's really hard to take care of plants.
You don't. I'm telling you, man. I did the same thing. We had one of our businesses. We own a flea market. We have this plant vendor that comes in, beautiful plants, and I always get plants, and then I put them in the office, and inevitably they're dead. No matter what I do, I have no idea why. But that leads me to a really important question. Somebody that has 20, 30 plants, do they need 20 or 30 Sensos? Or can they bop around? Or how's that work? Because I mean, hell, if I had to get 20 of them, it gets really expensive. And that's a lot of gaming. I mean, shit, I'd never get my job done. Tell me how that works.
Yeah, I mean that's a super good question because we actually own like a 2,000 people community on Facebook, right? And then all they ask is if I have like 100 plants at my home, how should I take care of them? And then do I have to buy like a lot of sensors? And the answer is no, right? Because in order to solve this scenario, we actually developed this like modular design. So what it means is that you could probably buy maybe more probes, right? Because these are cheap, right? Because usually in Europe, like for example, our competitors' product, they will cost like 40 euros to get one unit of the sensor. But for us, like three of this probe is probably going to cost you like less than 20 bucks. So you can buy more of the probes and then insert it into different plants. And we really recommend like use this for more valuable plants, right? You
The ones
probably
that,
don't
the
need
ones, the ones that you care about dying, right?
yeah, the ones you
Yeah,
care about, your favorites, right? Because you
right.
always, as like a plant parent, you always have your favorite plants. So just pick your favorite plants and then insert these probes, and then you can always buy the sensors on top separately. For example, you can buy the Senso Pro, the different separately, or you can buy
Right.
the like the Senso Minis, right? And these are more for like professional cares, and then they're cheaper than the Pro because this is more for like the companion usage, and this is more for like the plant carrying, right? So you can just buy multiple and then just take care of multiple plants.
So basically, all three of those are going to be available through you, correct? I backed you. I got the three probe deal, the three pack.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are selling like from starter kit to all the way to like family kit, right? So you're
Well, I got
probably
three.
you're,
I
you
have I have the 3. I don't know which one that is. I backed you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Of course, I'm a backer. I backed you. Yeah, absolutely. And so
All
what I'm
right.
saying is, like, in theory, right? Like, if you had a whole bunch of plants in your office, right, and you have a sensor in one of them, like your favorite one, call him Fred, right? So you put your thing in Senso and Fred, and you're monitoring him, right? And the other plants, I would imagine you could just kind of emulate or copy what this one's telling you to do, and you should be pretty safe, right? You know what I mean? It's like if you're taking care of one, does that make sense? You don't need to necessarily be in like all your plants. If you're in one room and you have the same type of plants, I don't know, I'll probably kill them anyway. But I don't give a shit. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see what happens. But that answered my
Yeah.
question. So you don't need to build 100 of them. But I love the idea where you can get the probes and then you can take your Senso and you can bop them around in different things and all that. I'm going to be curious how that works with the app and everything.
I mean, I think plants are just like people, right? So you only go to the doctors when you're sick. So I mean, it's the same for plant. If you notice there's something wrong with the plants, then you probably need sensors to understand the condition, right? And you can use our app to diagnose, and then it will probably tell you what's going on, and then you can fix it from there. Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm excited to get one or 3. All right, right now, let's see. How far along are you in the project? You manufacturing yet, or you're really kind of early in it because I don't think your project doesn't close for another 5 days, right? It officially ends the close date is in 5 more days, I think, right?
No, we have 38 more days.
You do? Why did I could have
Yeah,
sworn I said
we're yeah, the
38.
campaign will be ended on July 30th.
Oh God! All
30th.
right, I totally misread that.
So,
So where are
yeah.
you right now in the process? Because obviously you have one in your hand and it's working. So where are you in the process of manufacturing? Are you still in research development? Still testing it out?
We're really close to production, so we did our trial production in May, right? And because our company is based in the Bay Area of Shenzhen, so we have really strong supply chain, and then we are working with like a huge factory, so they're actually like a really big cooperation. And then they did IPOs already, so they're pretty trustworthy, and then they love the idea of the product, so they're willing to work with us and then to make our products happen. And then we are probably going to ship out our first shipment in September. So really, it would be a rapid process for us because we would probably have everything done by then. I mean, but for the app, we're still in development, right? So, but it's going to be finished in less than 2 months. So we probably have everything all set. Yeah.
Very cool. I love it. All right. So, you know the show, right? The show was started because I got burnt on a bunch of projects. So I always ask founders that come on, talk to the guys that are like digging the product, but they may have been burned before. What do you have to say to them to ease their? Well, I'll add one thing to it. You are part of the XBOT Park group, correct? You were the incubator program?
Yeah, so we're basically in like the Chinese version of YC, so it's like a huge incubator, and then we already did a bunch of Kickstarter projects, and then they're pretty successful, right? So yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what are some of the ones that you've done? Because that's always a real. I always like. I just backed X Tool. You know X Tool. They
Yeah,
do
yeah,
some.
actually,
I just got their newest thing because X Tool has done 14 projects and all 14 have shipped. So what are some of the projects that you guys have done on Kickstarter that were successful?
yeah, so basically we have Code 27, right? So that's like a really viral desktop device for like animates. So you will see like the animates characters inside this box on the desktop, and they raised probably I think 1.6 million in the last campaign. And then we also have like the e-bike brand. They do this like e-bike device, which you can how do you say like put it at, at the behind of your bicycle, and then it will push forward.
Right. It transforms a regular bike to an e-bike.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, and that project was pretty successful.
Yeah, I remember that one. I didn't even know that was you guys, but yeah, that was a good one. I happen to own like a couple e-bikes, so I didn't really need it, but I thought, oh shit, that's a smart idea. So I love that. All right, so if you're skeptical, throw that out the door because you guys are going to deliver. I'm pretty confident on that.
Guys, you have to see this. Look at this place. It's called Concrete Jungle DTLA, and it's everything. Imagine opening your own shop here. Clothing, food, whatever you want. The community is amazing, and the vibe is unbeatable. This is where your dream business could be. So what are you waiting for? Lease now at concretejungledtla.com.
Because a lot of our users are skeptical about like the app subscription, right? We already told everyone in our community. We actually have like a huge plan community online on Facebook, right? And everybody was asking about the app because they don't want to pay extra money for the subscription. They really misunderstood our concept, right? Because we were saying we will be publishing like the premium features. But the reason why we charge premium features is that because they will be charged for a lot of tokens because we would do this like fancy AI features. For example, you can like 3D scan your room and then we will tell you where you put your plants and then where's like the sunlight condition is the it's best performed. But for our all like core features, they will be serve lifetime, right? Like we will never charge you for trying to take care of your plants. Like so those main features are completely free. And we promise that we will never charge our users for reading data because some users are worried about charging the data readings afterwards because I think a lot of companies does that. I think which is really weird for me also. Like I've never heard of that, but
You know what that's
hearing
called,
some.
right? There's a term for that. It's called bait and switch. It's really
Oh yeah,
popular.
yeah.
They get you
Well,
hooked.
well.
So
Oh, okay.
I'm glad to hear that. But how much is a premium subscription? Or have you figured that out yet, or you don't know yet what that's going to cost, or do you? Like for tokens?
Actually, to be honest, we have no clue because those features are still underdeveloped, right? And then
Sure.
because we're just trying to plan for the future, right? Because as a company, right? Because we are a startup, we need to plan for the future. But we will do one thing though. We will be building our startup upon the community. So we will be doing BIP, which is building in the public. So everything we do, including like the packages we design for the product itself, and the new products and the new app feature, we will be collecting feedback from our community members, right? Because we're just serving, we are doing services for our community members. That's the only reason why we are doing so much work. It's pretty tiring to be honest. And then, but we will try to do everything valuable for our users. And we don't want to do something that's against our users' wills, right? But otherwise, our startup will be failing. I mean, and we saw a lot of examples before us. All the startups that did the user baiting thing, they're all failing.
Yeah, no, I appreciate your transparency, man. It's cool. Everybody has a premium app. I mean, I own a bunch of apps that I created, and I got my free version, and then I got the premium version. That's just the name of the game, but you're not cheating anybody out of it. I mean, if you don't want a premium version, don't get it. No big deal. I will probably get it because that's what I do. I like that stuff. But yeah, man, this has been great. I really appreciate you coming on. And if you got any updates in the middle, also that Facebook group, I'll put it on the link in the description below. People can join and check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that would be great. We already got like 2,000 members, and then we're doing all the like the pools for them, right? So yeah.
All right. So it's not just for people that are backing your product, correct? It's for anybody that wants to go on to Facebook and learn more about Senso. They can just go and join your group, and if they're smart, they'll go and back you too, because it's going to be a cool product, and you get it for a discount, which is great.
Yeah, and I mean our app is pretty much open for everybody. Even if you don't want to pay for the device, it's okay, right? So we are still providing the app for free for you guys, and then because we will have a really tight plan community in our app, right? Because we want people to be enjoying the experience of talking about their plans and then sharing like pictures inside this community. So we just want to gather people, into our community and have fun. That's all we want. Yeah.
I got to tell you, man, I've never met anybody quite as passionate about plants as you are at such a young age. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean it's getting more interesting, right? At first, I'm like a plant beginners at first too, but then they're quite beautiful, and then you have a lot of fun with them. Yeah.
Well, man, that's it for me. I'm sold. I backed you. I'm gonna keep backing you, and I invite everybody else to. And it was great having you on the show, Luke. Thank you so much. And
All
I
right.
wish you best of luck. Huge success, man, with Senso. If you love plants, keep killing plants, or you want your plant to yell at you through a pixel pet, this is the one to watch. And as always, this is crowdfunding. Do your homework, understand the risk, and back what you believe in. If you like the show and want to learn more about crowdfunding campaigns, like, follow, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.